So the top 3 things to talk with your manager about in your one-on-ones. So do I look okay, Nathan?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's sweet.
So how I like to structure my one-on-ones with my manager is, first I like to give my manager a rundown of everything that I'm working on, because it's a good time to update your manager on just like status of projects. Say hi.
Coming out of the woods.
If you're having weekly one-on-ones with your manager, that's probably the thing that he or she is most interested in getting a pulse on, which is just like status of things that you're in charge of. Give them a rundown of that. Then you can go into the items that I would like her support on, things that are preventing you from doing the work that you need to do, ranging from like I've been trying to reach out to this team member, but that person won't respond to me, which is preventing me from doing my task. It might be the time to bring that up with your manager and see if she can do anything about it, or reach out to that specific person and get whatever answer you need. Or bring things up like things that you want your manager's input on, like if you have design options or questions that you want either her input or her decision on. Also, any questions that you might have for her. I keep saying her, it's because my manager is a girl, a woman. What do you call them? She's a female. So I just say her when I talk about manager, but your manager could be a guy, so it's... Or they, anybody. Anything else? Oh yeah, questions. Any questions you have for your manager? Things that you want clarification on. Maybe you had a team meeting and somebody or your manager brought up like some new initiative that you're going to be working on, or there's going to be like changes happening. Any questions that you might have and want more clarification on, your one-on-one's a good time to bring it up with them. Thirdly, this depends on how long your one-on-ones are. If there is time, or if you've kind of given your manager a heads up on, this is something I want to touch on this week. I like to have quarterly discussions with my manager on career development. It's always a good idea to give your manager a heads up when you want to talk about those things, so that he or she can come prepared and have a more productive conversation. Do I look okay? Do I look weird in general? We're walking so fast. I'm like,
These guys are poorly.
running out of breath. Is what I'm talking about even helpful or interesting? What was I talking about?
Leave a comment below if you find these tips helpful.
Leave a comment and let me know if what I'm talking about is even useful.
Or if her outfit looks okay.
Or if my outfit looks okay. Because I'm wearing pajama pants. Back to one-on-ones. Quarterly, I like to bring up career development, how I'm tracking towards my career growth. If there are goals that you guys set at the beginning of the year, you can take a look at that. And I like to, before a meeting, I like to type up the examples that I've been working on and how they align with those goals. And just have a discussion with my manager to see if are there other opportunities that I can get.
Okay, how much do you prepare ahead of time for meetings?
Come on, let's go. There's gonna be a dog, scary dog. Okay, wait, I need to wrap up my thought. So I like to talk about how I'm tracking towards my career goals and growth. I also wanna bring up any issues I might be having where I feel like my current work isn't aligning with those goals anymore. Plato's pooping. Regather my thoughts. I think what I said about it is enough. Just making sure that your work is going in the direction that you want your career and growth to be in. So how long I take to prepare for my one-on-ones. So if it's for like your regular weekly one-on-ones, I usually just spend about 10-15 minutes before each meeting to type up some notes that I want to talk to my manager about. If it's for like the longer career development meetings, I usually take the week before to just gather up my examples that I want to talk about, kind of document my thoughts, the work that I've been working on for the past quarter, just to have a couple supporting points about growth or a raise or kind of a shift in your job. So that's all. Oh, hi Luna. You're the one that are in charge of your one-on-ones with your manager. So it's always good to go into it more prepared and have the talking points that you want to talk about versus going in and having them ask the questions, because then it'll always just become like a weekly report of what you've been working on instead of actually addressing the points about your career and the questions that you may have. I used to really not enjoy one-on-ones because I guess I went into it kind of unprepared, and it was like those weekly, like a list of what I've been doing. But since then, I value my one-on-ones a lot more. Throughout the week, you don't get a lot of dedicated time to sit down with your manager or with your mentors to talk specifically about whatever you want to talk about. Just ask whatever you want to ask. Like, there isn't really anything that you can't or shouldn't ask. Really your time to use it however you want to. You don't want to go on that side now.
What's a bad one-on-one look like?
I mean, I don't think there is a bad one-on-one. It's just if you come unprepared, you're not making the most of what you could be. I mean, the worst one is when your manager just keeps canceling on you and keeps like moving your meetings around because they think something else is more important. That's probably like the worst thing your manager can do with your one-on-ones, because then you feel like their time with you, they're not valuing that. Well, they don't value the time you guys have together.
You should be honest in your one-on-ones too. Some people might not be honest, or because oh, I don't want to tell my manager this or that.
Yeah, I mean, if something really bad is happening to you at work and you're trying to deal with it yourself, you probably should be bringing those up in your one-on-ones just so you're not miserable. A manager should be there to help you with anything that comes up at work, and they should kind of be like your spokesperson, not somebody who like is able to voice your concern to people that will help you solve the issue.
How are one-on-ones different in the tech world versus architecture?
I've never had one-on-ones in my architecture firm. Like, that was just something that never, actually wait, it did. It never happened with my direct manager, like design manager, but I did have mentors that I scheduled one-on-ones with, but that wasn't very common. Like, you kind of have to bring that up yourself and be like, can I set up one-on-ones with you? But it wasn't like a common thing for project managers to set that up with you. When I started working within the tech industry, I was so surprised at how helpful managers were, because I've never had those kind of conversations with my manager at my architecture firm. The only time where we talked about career growth and development was during yearly annual reviews. By that point, they already wrote a whole review about me, and it was just them sitting in a room and giving all of the feedback to me. Or they never talked about any of that stuff to me before that moment. It was never a very comfortable experience. When I finally joined tech, it was so nice to have those kind of conversations with somebody who really actually cared about your career growth, and you felt like you had a lot more control over your feedback and how you can improve.
You had a 2-on-2?
That sounds so weird. One-on-one etiquette. Never schedule it too early in the morning. Kind of aim for like around the 10 a.m. to like 2 to 3 p.m. If it's too early, you just don't have enough time to prepare. If it's too late in the day, everybody just kind of wants to leave. Like, nobody likes meetings in the late afternoon. Your meeting invite, just put both of your names. Like, for example, if it's your name and your manager's name is like Tina, put like Betty Tina 101. I mean, that's obvious, right? You don't need to send your talking points ahead of time. There's like things that you want to review with them. You can always send it ahead of time and be like, oh, I want to talk about this on a one-on-one and discuss it with you in person.
How personal should you get during a one-on-one? Talk about your kids or your family or your personal life or their personal life. Should you ask them, well, how's your baby doing?
If you just want to do like a small talk like that in the beginning, you can do that. Personally, I don't like talking about any of that stuff. It depends on your relationship with them. Like, I feel like I'm pretty close with my manager, but I wouldn't really, they don't need to know anything personal about me. I usually limit my small talk to like one sentence or two, and it's very just like generic and stupid, like the weather. Oh my god, it was so rainy today. Oh yeah. And then like, oh, did you have a good weekend or a trip and whatever. It's just those like dumb stuff like that. I think adding personal things is just, yeah, it's a waste of time and it makes things awkward. That's about it.
I think good. Okay, good.
Okay, good.
Wrap it up.
Wrap it up. That's all.
Comment below if you have any questions.
Oh yeah, comment below if you have any questions on one-on-ones or anything, or any career questions that you want me to answer or talk about.